Whether it's baseball, basketball, hockey, even bowling, it's covered on Gary J's sports page. I'll talk about what's going on in the world of sports all over the USA. We'll read you interesting articles about the players and even keep up with the scores of the games going on live. I'll even have guests from time to time and just talk sports. Better than any newspaper page, it comes alive. Gary J's sports page, alternating Saturdays at 2 o'clock Central on GJRB Online. The mainstream media is not telling you the truth. They have their own agenda. At GJRB, I have mine, telling you what's really going on with sources like End Time Headlines, InfoWars, Coast to Coast AM, and most importantly, CBN News, keeping you on top of what's happening at the top and bottom of each hour during the Gary Wrestling program. I'll give you the news and analysis of what I think with Gary J's News and Comment. Get the real news, true news, news that's not in the mainstream on GJRB. Alright, back on the air, the Gary Wrestling program on GJRB Online. That's how you get in. Ladies, cell phones, the one and only chat room that we do here. It's available on Spreaker. I'm going to go on my Google Plus later on. Otherwise, I'm going to be on the Twitter and Google Plus. On the Radio Maniac on Twitter, you can find me there as well. And when you get in there, that's the best place to listen, because all you do is just hit that drop-down arrow, and you can listen to the show right there. Leave your comments right there. I'm going to be going there in just a little bit, and you'll be able to get a chance to to me on my Spreaker page right here on GJRB Online, and that's www.Spreaker.com, and just get into the main Spreaker site, and it has a bunch of radio stations, other choices you can listen to beside me on here. And amongst that, you'll see the Cubs train. That's our GJRB site. That's our GJRB widget. Although I'm going to change that pretty soon. I'm thinking about putting our logo in there, but pretty soon. But for right now, that's what it is. And when you see that, just click on to it'll take you right to my main page. And right there on that main page, you'll see all of the widgets. And under there is a balloon that looks like a comic book balloon. And when you click that, you go take you right to my chat room area. And you can talk to me right there, and talk about what you want to talk about. Just type in what you feel, what you want to talk about, and we're right there. But right now, we are going to visit the social media right now, because it is time now for that.
Let's scroll through social media.
All right. That's what we're doing right now, and we're going to take a look at the Facebook page, my Facebook page, the GJRB Online Facebook page. Been looking at some interesting articles and stuff added to our news and comment. One of them, a lot of conservative stuff here. I want to go down the page. I don't really care about that story. Here's an interesting one. It comes from Fox. Sunday's capture set a record for a Christy Kroboth, with the possibility of the state, the 50-year-old gator, weighing well over 1,000 pounds, measuring at 13 feet. Yeah, gators. A Texas woman tames it. Godzilla, male-dominated business. 30-year-old there. Fascinating story. Coming from the Blaze, seriously not expecting this to happen. Radio shock jocks were dared to play years old Christian song on the radio, and then they did. These are shock jocks. Well, shock jocks. This is interesting. This is from the Blaze. Interesting story here. Mercy Me, one of the popular ensembles of today's Christian music. Their 1999 song, I Can Only Imagine, which crossed over to the secular charts that later on. The tune ended up to be a mega viral hit back in 2003. I mentioned that before. And during a recent visit to the Blaze New York newsroom, the band comprised of Bart Millard, Nathan Cochran, Barry Grohl, and Robbie Schaefer, and Michael John Setzer discussed the new holiday album, It's Christmas, and explained how I Can Only Imagine ended up to becoming a Billboard Hot 100's hits years after its release to millions of Americans throughout mainstream radio. And I guess there's like an interview, 31-minute mark. There's like an interview here from SoundCloud. A group called the Church Boys, episode 43, On Christian, but not on true. This is from the Blaze. This is fabulous. Something that Mercy Me never set out to go to do with this song. After all, the lyrics focused on encountering Jesus Christ in heaven. And the article, fabulous article, one of the radio stations, I guess a DJ by the name of Tony and Big Guy Stevens, on Wild 101 FM, the Fitz Radio, decided to play the song, somewhat of a joke, and they did. And something unexpected happened as the phones lit up like a Christmas tree. Christmas. The only song already ran its course on Christian radio, and the band moved on, but suddenly Mercy Me was fascinating position as a Christian song is intended to praise and worship and made its way into secular airwaves. And soon interest in this song snowballed, and the band's record label began sending copies to top 40 stations. Yeah, challenging program managers to play it. Ooh. Anyway, their phones blew up and masses wanted to hear more of these Christian songs. It's good. It's good. We're hearing something positive about Christ here. And it goes on to say that the word's getting out. Word's getting out. A label, I guess it's another label, a group called the Church Boys. They're starting to get out. The label didn't want them to know about it, but how they promised this, according to Millard. They agreed to send a copy to stations and say it once, if you don't get a reaction, just throw it out. Can you imagine that? Just throw it out. Yeah. Like I said before, I might not, agree with the denomination of which Glenn Beck is, which is Mormon, But I'll tell you what, here's a man who does stand up for Jesus Christ and keeping God in America, Glenn Beck. That's why I like him, because he does care about God here. He really does. I like Glenn Beck for that reason, because he still believes in keeping Christ in America, and that is why I like Glenn Beck. That's why I like him, because he does stand up for Christianity in America, and he stands up for God in America, and that. More power to him. It's absolutely great that he's finally, we're seeing something here, we're finally getting somewhere here. Maybe it's Glenn Beck that could start a revival. Wouldn't that be cool, huh? But, it's going to be here on GJRB Online, too, because I support it all together. That we keep Christ in Christmas. We keep Christ in America. And that is what GJRB is all about. That's why the majority of the songs you hear on GJRB are Christian rock. Because we are a Christian station. So henceforth, you're going to hear nothing but Christian rock on there. And I'm not a shock jock, okay? Might be to some of you non-Christians. But I am not a shock jock on the internet. This is what I play. So, get used to it, folks. Because Jesus Christ is the top of my book. And I will not bow down to these secular people. Will not and will refuse to. Coming up, Gary J's Sports Page. Got that coming up. And I'll be talking about some things on there. I got a way overdue sports page, so we're going to get into that here in a few minutes. And also, I'll be talking about coming up. Speaking of sports page, the sports page is coming back. We'll be doing that this Saturday, 2 o'clock Central Time for a couple hours just before Iowa Hawkeyes play. So I'll be giving you that one. But for right now, though, I'm going to look and see. I think I saved it in my data bank here. But before we do that, it is time, indeedy, for Gary J's Sports Page. Here we go. We're going to talk a lot about some sports here for a few minutes. See what's going on in the world of sports here on GJRB and get you ready. I'm going to give you a setup as to what I'll be talking about on Gary J's Sports Page on Saturday. So hang in there, it's coming up. But right now, last night, the Chicago Bears actually won a football game. You believe it? Wow. They won yesterday. I didn't see the game because, like I said earlier at the beginning of the show, Monday Night Football is available only on ESPN. ESPN, which means I was not able to see the game because I do not have ESPN anymore. So I didn't get to see the game, but apparently it was a good game for the Bears. Good game for the Bears yesterday. And wow. Was a great game indeed. The Chicago Bears beating San Diego 22-19 yesterday. Yeah, imagine that. 22-19. Zach Miller leaped the snagged Jay Cutler's pass with his right hand and tumbled into the end zone in a big-time play. And another close finish for the Chicago Bears, who just beat a staggering San Diego Chargers yesterday, 22-19 on Monday Night Football. And Jay made a great throw yesterday, and I have that report on here, but you can't hear it over our Spreaker. Won't hear it on Spreaker, but I'm playing it right now off my so I've seen some of the footage of this game yesterday. Some of the highlights are on here, and I can't really watch them because it's like I said before, no point in playing that when I can't play it over Spreaker. So What a game it was. In the first quarter, Phillip Rivers passed to Danny Woodhead to the left for a 14-yard gain, and Josh Lambo made a pat. Then about 10 minutes 11 seconds left in the second quarter, Jason Verrett intercepted Jay Cutler for 68 yards, and Josh Lambo missed. Cutler again passed to Bennett to the right, 1-yard gain, 6:57 left in the second quarter. Now here's the big action that happened in the fourth quarter. Well, about 5 minutes left in the second quarter. Josh Lambo kicked a 31-yard field goal, making it 7-16. It started out 7-0, then 13-0 after that. When I pre-mentioned interception with Jay Cutler, 13-7, and with 6:57 left. Touchdown. Jay Cutler passed to Martellus Bennett for a 1-yard gain, and then 5 seconds left. It was a 31-yard field goal. 31-yard field goal, 16-7. Wow. Okay, then in the fourth quarter, well, actually, let's go to the third quarter, because that seems like nothing happened. Nothing happened third quarter. Nothing. Absolutely zilch, okay? So, nothing happened in the third quarter, but when we get to the fourth quarter, with 14:06 left, Jeremy Langford rushed up the middle for a 1-yard gain. 7:55 though. Now that became 16-14 San Diego. But then here's where it really got interesting. Okay, there's 19-14 and with 7:55 left in the game. Josh Lambo kicked a 22-yard field goal. 22 yards. Wow, this is amazing. Wow. And then the 3:24 left. This is what really was interesting. This has happened because it was still 19-14 San Diego, but then the Bears rallied. 3:24 left. 3:24 left in the game. Jay Cutler passed to Zach Miller down the middle for a 25-yard gain. Second point attempt converted. Jeremy Langford run to the left. Bears 22, San Diego 19. What a close game that was. Whoa. Man, maybe the Bears are finally waking up here, folks. Maybe this is like the wake-up call for Chicago. Could be just that. Oh, wow. That put the kibosh on San Diego yesterday. So, wow, what a great game that was, huh? Wow. Anyway, other games in the NFL this past weekend. Cincinnati beat Cleveland 31-10. Buffalo over Miami 33-17. St. Louis got defeated by Minnesota 21-18. Washington got defeated by New England 27-10. The Redskins, what is it? I've noticed that their record has not been all that good since the whole kibosh over their name, and they're not doing too good. I'll check their standings. I don't know what the Redskins standings are lately, but 27-10 New England over Washington. Tennessee beat New Orleans 34-28. New York Jets beat Jacksonville 28-23. Right. Finally, last week my Pittsburgh Steelers blew it. This week 38-35 over Oakland. And yesterday, and I'm going to look for it on my Facebook page. I'm going to have to look for it because I know I saved that story. I'm going to look for it here. I know I saved that story. So I'm going to go and look here for it. Can't notice where it is, but I'm going to look for it. It's here somewhere. down the ways. Here we go. Ben Roethlisberger's out. Ben Roethlisberger's out. Went to the locker room, carted for a foot injury. And this is according to a source from ESPN and WPXI Channel 11 out of Pittsburgh, the NBC affiliate. And it looks as though Big Ben is out. Oh boy. This isn't good for Pittsburgh. Ben Roethlisberger expected to be out for a few weeks due to a mid-foot sprain, according to a source from ESPN. A mid-foot sprain, and he's expected to be sidelined for a few weeks. He suffers a foot injury during Sunday's game against Oakland. The team's public relations spokesperson, Bert Luton, tweeted saying that the injury was to his left foot. Here's his tweet from his Twitter page. His tweet: Ben Roethlisberger has a left foot injury. His return to today's game was questionable, according to Bert Lawton. So, Big Ben gone for a while. That's going to hurt the Steelers. This is going to hurt the Steelers. Oh boy. Don't know exactly what's going to happen there, but Steelers are going to be suffering for this. Big Ben Roethlisberger, injured foot, and he has a sprain, so he's going to be out of the game for a while. So, praying for you, Ben. Hope you get back in the game. What a shame. Ben Roethlisberger out for a while. Well, you kind of expect that. All my teams are not doing good this year. I haven't watched all that much football this year because of it. It's not that I don't care. It's just I think my teams are just kind of are blowing it this year. Here's some of the team standings so far. I'm going to check here on Chicago, and I want to check here on Pittsburgh. I'm going to check on Washington Redskins, actually, because I want to look at that for a minute. Okay, Washington Redskins. Let me see if I can find them here a minute and see what their standings are right now. Here's Washington. Washington standings 3-5. They won 3, lost 5. They're 3-5 so far. Dallas 2-6. Minnesota 6-2. Minnesota's doing good. Packers are too. They're 6-2. But the Bears, I guess this is normal. 3-5. Yeah. Well, I'll be talking about this Saturday, so join me then. Gary J's Sports Page, Saturday afternoon, 2 o'clock Central, right here on GJRB. Be sure and tune in. We got a great show lined up. We're going to be talking about the Bears. We're going to talk about overdue last-minute baseball and get a lot of that out of our system. Because, like I said before, I still disappointed about the Cubs this year. And it's just a darn shame after all that. They just didn't make it. They just didn't make it. And then, I really feel bad about it. I really do. It was just a shame that we couldn't get anywhere this year with them. Okay. First of all, I want to remind you that for 9-foot listeners, no news at the top of 5. We're just going to keep right on rolling. Let's stay on the air. And we got one more part after this. Actually, part 5. I'm going to do another part after this, part 5, and then we're going to take another break and do the final. But really, like I said before, it's basically that. The Bears, what a shame, 3-5 on the record. So let's see what happens this year. New England's doing good. They're 8-0. I think I got to look at this and pick my teams here. 5-4 for Pittsburgh. They're trying to get back up the ladder here. They lost 5, won 4. They could win this and be tied 5-all and be able to at least maybe get somewhere above 500. Don't look at Jacksonville getting anywhere. Got a friend of mine who's a Jacksonville fan. Look at Philadelphia; they're 4-4, and Atlanta 6-3. They're good, and Seattle's 4-4. San Francisco's not doing good either. So we'll be talking about that. All that. That's what we got in sports page here for that. I thought that they were, I really thought they had a good record, though. I got to hand it to the Cubs. Even though they didn't get very far this year, at least we had a really half-decent freaking season. And that's all I really, really care. Now let's get back into more stuff. I got some more stuff to talk about here. It's 5 o'clock in the Central Time Zone right now. 5 p.m. Central. Forgot to put the tune up. Bong. Anyway, 5 o'clock Central Time right now. It's 6 o'clock in the East, 3 o'clock Pacific. I'm Gary J. Russin. This is GJRB Online, the Gary Russin program. And glad you could be with me today for Internet Radio Talk at its best. The Gary Russin program here on GJRB Online. And we're going to be taking a quick break here for some brief news, and then be right back with more of the Gary Russin program. I said I was going to not take a break for news. I got to take a break anyway for a spot locally, so I might as well just go ahead and take that news break anyway, because we're running out. So I'll be right back. Got more of the Gary Russin program coming up, more good stuff on the way, so stay with me. The Gary Russin program on GJRB Online. Remember, sports page Saturday, 2 o'clock Central, right here on GJRB.